With Zero to Hero coming out very soon on the channel, I have requested help from my fellow content creator, Burgas Gaming, to suggest 5 rare heroes that I should be looking out for in Season 1 that I need to try and prioritize, so then in Season 2 and Season 3, when I catch up, I will be in the best position possible so I can clear all the content, get all the gear, and make my journey nice and swift. So let's get into today's video. I am on the channel here with Burgas Gaming, and he's finally helping me get into Dragonheir, and he's going to give me 5 rare heroes in the game that I can look forward to in Season 1 to take an advantage. So welcome, Burgas.
Thank you very much, Sneaky. Happy to see you, man. Welcome to Dragonheir Sound Gods. It's great pleasure since, we played together also other games. So I'm happy to have you here. Yeah, we're going to talk about these rare heroes. And do you want me to start with my favorite one that I'm going to use till the Season 3?
Yes, please. Can I give you the first hero that you want to suggest?
Yeah, my first suggestion is maybe the hero that you're going to be your main blade in every fight in Dragonheir Sound Gods. And this is Sigrid, ladies and gentlemen. Is Sigrid, and there's a couple things about this hero. First of all, this absolutely insane first spell she's having is when the enemy is infected with the buff dies, she's getting like 25% ultimate energy. So for places like Goblin Lair where there's a lot of enemies there, you can combine, of course, Sigrid with the buff heroes. It can be Vorish, it can be any hero that apply the buff. And Sigrid, when this hero die, this creature, she's going to get this 25% energy regen. Now, the bad part here about this spell is you cannot control the timing. What I mean by that is if you, for example, combine a Sigrid with Vorish, for example, and Vorish hit before Sigrid, when she gets this 25% ultimate energy, the timing is going to be different since she's going to fire up before him. So this is so far for the first spell, absolutely insane. Very rarely heroes have this type of spells. The second one is, I don't know, something that if you have struggles in dungeons, for example, Grave of Wrath, we know when the boss eat your tank, he started getting some healing also in the arena or any places where you need healing prohibition. This is perfect since she's going to apply healing prohibition. This is 100%. There is healing reduction, but this is healing prohibition for 5 seconds, also doing some decent damage. Now here the percentage are 75%. But still, if you put some screws and level up this hero spell that I strongly suggest, you're going to get this healing prohibition if you have the accuracy also. Accuracy is also very important in Dragonheir Sound Gods. But yeah, you're going to apply this healing prohibition. It's very important in the places where you need to reduce this healing because it's big pain. And finally, my favorite thing and the thing that separates Sigrid and actually make her like a legendary hero, but a 3-star one, is the ultimate. Is 820% poison damage to the enemy and all enemies infected with the buff, and 75% chance to inflict healing prohibition and attack penalty for 10 seconds. This is huge. First time I saw Sigrid, I didn't believe that is actually possible to be for the 3-star hero, but it's possible. And the synergy part here, let's say it like this, is you just combine Sigrid with a hero that are applying the buffs. And my favorite team for the arena, for example, is you can go for for Vorish, for example. He's Season 1, and he's going to apply all the buff prohibition on all the enemy, and after this the Sigrid is going to destroy everything on the battlefield. Same apply for the Goblin Lair. This hero is decent for multiple fights, also decent for the single fight. Healing recognition and my favorite debuff in this game, because we know the games have debuff down, attack down. This is the main debuffs and buffs in the game. So attack penalties, reducing the attack by 50%, that is huge. And all this is provided by this 3-star hero. Absolutely my favorite one in Dragonheir 7 Gods.
Love it, I love it, because it is perfect. I haven't got her on my main account, and I've heard so much talk about her myself. So I'm glad to understand finally why she's so good. And for anyone who does have her, again, you can always just click on the little question mark card icon, and you will get a mini walkthrough if you do need a little bit of basic understanding on some recommended artifacts and even set of gear and just basic conditions where you can use her in like the Tempest dungeon, and obviously like Burgas said here, the Grand Gladiator Arena. So perfect. So let's go on to the second suggestion.
Did you know that there is a competition for the secret? One hero that is doing close to the same AoE damage as a secret and is going to support your secret by a lot. And this is Irina. Irina is maybe one of the heroes that I discovered a little lately in the game, since mostly people are focused on the epic heroes or the legendary heroes, even though that I didn't have back in the days that many. I mean, those legendary, this 3% is hard. But anyway, the second hero I strongly suggest is the Irina. And I'm going to, of course, mention that great shield that is providing, especially if you place her good. You can get decent value of this 10% target maximum HP shield. When the hero deals the damage, enemy skills get some shield, but this is not the main weapon of the Irina. There is way more behind this lady, and yeah, the shield is cool, but the second spell is even more cool. That is basically designed for the Goblin Lair. This is Unleash the Chain Lightning, dealing 360% attack lightning to the enemy. And this is something that you're not going to see that much in the Goblin Lair, since I don't know why, but lightning heroes, when they hit, and the number just pop up and disappear immediately. But if you click on the damage do, you're going to see that this hero is doing massive damage with this passive spell that she's having. 3 times is the hit. Here you don't need to level up that much this spell, since getting the extra damage and recharge time is not so important. And we know the screws are big scarcity in the Dragonheir Sound Gods, even the rare one, if I have to be honest. But yeah, this is so far for the second spell, is again the AoE, but still is doing very decent damage on the single target. And of course, I'm going to jump over the ultimate of this hero, dealing massive damage. This is 710% lightning damage, and it's not hitting a single target like a cigarette. She's hitting that 9 cubes.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I like the arena as well, because the thing is, when I've been using arena, because fortunately I unlocked her through just summoning her, she gives that massive attack penalty too. And I love the fact that it's a massive debuff that you're going to be needing to take into the higher level content, right? Because one thing in this game that I've noticed is you might hit a point where, yeah, you're hitting as much damage as possible, and to actually punch through the content, you need to either debuff the enemies with lower attack penalties, lower defense penalties, and even maybe like stun penalties if you can, with some sort of control effect. So I love this hero, and on top of all of the damage you've stated, I must admit that this spell, one buff from them, is massive when it comes to, again, late game content. And I just think for a rare hero, compared to so many games I've played, it is shockingly insane how powerful some of these heroes are. So I love this suggestion myself. I am definitely going to be looking for her in season 1 on my main account. So let's go over now to your third suggestion in Dragonheir Silent Gods.
My third suggestion for you, MrSneakyy, is to go for Grover. Now, this little guy, it man looks little, but is doing a good work here, especially in the dungeons like a Grave of Curse, where it's almost impossible. If you're a free-to-play player, it's almost impossible to pass this dungeon without the Grover. And we know what juicy gear drop there. So yeah, I think MrSneakyy is going to make awesome video also about the gears. So stay tuned about that. But anyway, Grover, the important part is he have a Captain Aura in all battles that is increasing the accuracy. This is very decent. Accuracy is one of your main status that you want to have in a Dragonheir Sound Gods to apply these buffs. Since if you don't apply buffs, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle a lot. So, first of all, I want to mention the Captain Aura. Now, the first spell is interesting and help the survivability of this hero that he's entering in the invisibility when he fall before 25 HP. It's important since we don't want to lose the hero, especially this one is a melee one. So he's going to be on the front, so there's a chance he died there. The second spell is strikes the enemy with 50% chance to stealing 10% ultimate energy. Now here we're talking about the timing, something that the endgame players count by what? The timing. And having this chance in the whoops of the fight, every cycle of firing up the spells, you're going to somehow control at least a little the boss energy, since the boss sometimes have very fast he charge his spells. But with this life cycle, if you get enough, for example, spell haste for your heroes, you can actually catch up with the boss charge bar, and like this you can control, for example, putting attack penalty before the boss is hitting hard with some hard spell, and having the control over the spell on auto attack. And we all know that we love auto attacks. I mean, I don't want to click my heroes by my hand, so the Grover is going to help you by a lot controlling the boss energy. And finally, maybe the most important spell that is the spell that help free-to-play players start getting legendary gear in Grave of Curse. I know I talk that much about the Grave of Curse, but this is important instances. I mean, there's like 3 dungeons that you get your gear there, and this guy is going to help you there. Pushes an enemy and launch 2 attacks, each dealing 370% lightning damage and stealing a random buff from them. So if you have bosses that have more than a 1 buff, this is a huge, because it's 2 hits. That means he's going to steal 2 debuffs. And here you don't have probability, which is very strange. He's going for sure to get this debuff, so you don't need also the accuracy to achieve that, which is huge. And in Grave of Curse, since the boss there is getting his shield by the damage he's doing, and he have a lot of attack boosters, this hero can easily take these debuffs. I point Grave of Curse just because it's a place where it's a heart, and this guy is doing huge amount of damage. But there is also world bosses, some other bosses that have some kind of debuff, and you can use Grover. But it's a must-have hero for free-to-play players if they want to achieve and get some gear.
I actually love that because I never seen this hero, and if the fact that I've missed out, I know one thing in Dragonheir Silent Gods is the level 10 free rare hero chest. So if it's possible and I don't have Grover when I need him, I could be using that chest to unlock this hero to get that Grave of Curse team ready to smash out and get all the gear I actually need for my team. Because I'm not gonna lie, this kit you've suggested and obviously explained so well to me, I can understand it, right? so many attacks, and attacks is so powerful because you're hitting them obviously per turn, they can crit, and then on top of this, as you said, stealing that energy and stealing a random buff from them, and there's no percentage, it's a guaranteed effect, there's no probability around it. I love that too, all in another rare hero. So maybe Grover might become the face of the channel and become MrSneakyy himself, who knows, but I love it. So let's go into the fourth suggestion of your rare heroes in Dragonheir Silent Gods.
My fourth suggestion for you, MrSneakyy, is one hero that I use in the season 2, basically. I didn't even use in the season 1 since I didn't put that much attention to her, since at some point you're going to get a lot of epic heroes also. The game actually provides us with a lot of starlight dice, and this gives you the chance to have a lot of also epic hero. And I make one first of my big mistake in Dragonheir Silent Gods, and this is I focus my whole attention over my epic hero. But there was one hero that helped me to pass Goblin Lair 3 was stage, and this is Usha. Now, this hero, first of all, have the Captain Aura that is giving 25% HP. We don't care about that. And also, I don't like Captain Auras that is for specific plays. I really like Auras that is for the whole battles, but sometimes we cannot actually get this. But the important thing and the main weapon of the Usha is she's absolutely great for multiple target and a single target. Something like Sigrid, for example. We already talked about all these heroes that we speak, maybe except Grover is absolutely beast in the multiple single target hitter. And from where this comes is from the first spell of the Usha, every 2 basic attacks and the enemy under frost deals double damage. So it's basically like guaranteed crit if you have frost on the target. And she's applying this frost, so it's something like guaranteeing to do extra damage on a single target. Very important for the single bosses like Flame Domain, and we have big problems with Flame Domain. Most of the players have struggles there, so Usha is one of your main weapons there. As a tank, you can also use her as a DPS. It didn't actually matter that much. And the second spell is the survivability of the Usha. Gets 300% attack shield and attack speed 2 for 10 seconds. Now this attack speed is actually boost for this frost damage. Double damage is going to do on the targets that are infected with the frost, but also this shield increase her survivability in the Goblin Lair. Now if you use Usha as your tank for the Goblin Lair, she's doing massive damage, and also she's going to have this shield. Since by using DPS, melee DPS, you risk this hero to die, but with this shield you can prepare a balanced gear with some defense, some HP, and also she's doing massive damage. And the massive damage actually comes from the first and the wasp spell, basically the first one with the frost damage, and the last one is the ultimate. Swashes 2 times each, dealing 400% cold damage to the enemy with the range. And here there is important 100% chance to inflict frost for 10 seconds. So here you don't even need to level up these spells. And most of the people are going to see that most of the heroes are like 75% chance, but you know you have to level up your spell a little to actually get this extra 25%. Here Usha is providing with 100% chance to inflict frost, and from the frost fraction, since most of the heroes, not most of the heroes, maybe Usha is the only one that is having some kind of, I don't know if the right word is fraction, but she is from the frost family. So you can combine her with other frost heroes that is going to apply this frost debuff so she can do massive damage. And this skill deals double damage to enemy infected with the frost, so it's going to be massive damage if you combine her with other frost heroes. And this is the main point for the Goblin Lair. She's going to keep all the goblins in one place in these 9 cubes where for example, Irina spell is going to hit, or maybe your main hero, if you don't have any of these heroes, your main hero on fire is also hit like 9 cubes and is absolutely perfect. And this extra damage, absolutely insane for a single target and multiple targets. So I'm curious, what do you think, MrSneakyy?
Yeah, I've used her myself, honestly. I've used her quite a bit, and she is one of the staples in my own team for the same reasons. I use Usher with. I was lucky enough to get a legendary um, Frost Hero that was a really good enabler. So, like, I just paired them two up with a bunch of AoE damage, and it is obscene that I was just able to push through all of Goblin Lair 1 all the way into Goblin Lair 2, and now I'm like leveling up all my heroes so fast just because of this one rare hero, which I think is amazing. So let's go into the final hero on the list that you need to be definitely looking out for, because even I know the final hero, and hopefully everyone is not sleeping on her. So the final hero that we're going to go over, I know it's one that everyone is looking over maybe, because they might get access to this hero so early on in the game that they just think, you know what, it's just a throwaway in the trash can like they do in other games. And I'm going to pass it to Burgas because he will tell you everything about this hero.
And the hero we're talking about is Hexandra. This is a hero, yeah, you're going to receive for free. I mean, look at the game. Most of the games is going to provide you with decent heroes at the beginning just to help you to progress in the game and not give it up. And this is a hero that you definitely have to look over, level up. This is a hero also I still use in the season 3. I mean, it's insane. 3-star hero in the season 3, but yeah. I'm going to go over the main things that Hexandra is actually doing. And the first thing is, I'm going to start with the first spell, is healing HP below 40%. Amount of the healing is increased by 30%. By default, this hero is going to provide you with solid damage, but you're going to get extra 30% when the target is under 40% HP, and this is very important for the survivability of your team. You want to heal up faster the hero that is in the bad situation, and it's not like the last 20%, is like on the 40%. This is close to the half HP, which is absolutely great in my opinion. The next spell is heals by Ali, 1500 alignment, and dispel one debuff from them. Now here comes one of the main roles of Hexandra in Dragonheir Silent Gods. She's dispelling one debuff. You can use her in the flame domain. You can use her in the Grave of Wrath. You can use her on any place where there is some kind of debuff. And this hero should be stacked on the alignment. I mean, I think most of the heroes that is providing a shields or some kind of healing should be strongly hard on the alignment. And yeah, this is a hero that is going to also dispel buff and do a single healing. And here comes the best part, the multiple healing. Now she's not covering the whole map, but all these cubes she's covering is going to be enough. And based on the healing, most of the times you're going to actually place your heroes on the map when you start a fight with some boss, since you want to catch everybody, and she's providing with very decent amount of cubes that she can actually heal in the fights. Heal the allies within the range with 20% target maximum HP. Of course, you have to just level up to level 40 spell to get some extra healing, but yeah, 20% is huge amount of damage. Most of the heroes is more like alignment. I mean, they heal some percentage and extra alignment, and the Hexandra is not one of these type of heroes. She's percentage target maximum HP. So for this hero, even though for most of the heroes you want to go for alignment, for Hexandra, you actually can go for different status and build different type of hero. This is maybe the thing I want to mention about this hero, since I use her in the season 3. Absolutely great hero. It's a hero that is guaranteed. It's not like you have a chance to get her or maybe you not get her. And we have to use everything that we get for free at the best.
Yeah, definitely agree with that, because like I say, I've only been playing this season 1 to try and learn as much as I can, and this is one hero that even at first I didn't really use too much in the first couple of weeks, and then I realized, wait, she's actually doing some insane big healing, and definitely in season 1 I'm going to be using her and using her as my main healer in a lot of my comps, because as a lot of people might not be aware of, supports are very hard to come by, but it's easier to replace the damage in Dragonheir, right? So I love it. I love that final suggestion you have given to me. So I'm going to be looking forward to all 5 of those in Dragonheir Silent Gods. And that is everything for today in Dragonheir Silent Gods. And I hope you guys liked today's video with the collaboration of Burgas Gaming. I want to shout out to the big man and thank you so much for helping me out in this game. There's so many heroes, and honestly, who would have thought rare heroes are able to do some big damage numbers and support your team efficiently in this game. So if you're making a new account and you thought this was educational and you learned something today, you know what to do. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, stay safe, guys. Stay sneaky. Peace out.